I go to the mall and hide in a stairwell and take photos of women's skirts. I have a whole book of cooter shots under my bed. One time I put a firefly in my butthole.
Why?
To make my farts glow.
Oh, God.
I had a beer with the old biker man at the end of the street. And he let me touch his old lady's. I shaved the dog and glued the hair to my nutsack so I looked like a grown man.
I touched myself to Drew Carey on The Price is Right.
God. Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. So the source of all enlightenment is understanding that your government lies to you and that it is a organized criminal enterprise. They lie to you about every major event and about some of the biggest events in human history, and a black box event that you're not allowed to ask questions about. In fact, if you're the most popular guy on all TV, you'll get fired for asking the wrong questions about January 6th, remains a black box. And while we have a lot of January 6th footage, an enormous amount of information about that day remains curiously missing. Now, there is some footage, however, that isn't missing and is quite confusing to those of us who are simply watching from afar. Here's footage of a violent protester getting released from his handcuffs. What's this about? By the officers there on the Capitol that day. Not only that, he fist bumps the officers who fist bump him back as though they know each other. And the officers let him out of his shackles, this violent, angry, dangerous insurrectionist, and they let him go. After saying, "What's up?" After saying, "How you doing?" After high-fiving the guy. And now the officers talk to each other. What does this mean? Well, either these two officers are totally derelict in their duty, protecting the Capitol that day, releasing a violent protester back onto the street, even when they had him in shackles. Or this man was a paid operational asset agitator from the federal government who they arrested without understanding his credentials, and then when he told them that he worked for the FBI or the intelligence agencies, they let him go. They checked that through the walkie-talkie. Oh, yep, got it. We got John here from the FBI. This has just simply been speculation for us until now. When a former FBI agent, current CIA officer, in undercover recordings explains that there were at least 20 undercover FBI agents at the Capitol on January 6th, saying effectively that they can arrest anybody that they wish, and that they set up right-wing journalists like Tucker and Alex Jones for jail. My God, ladies and gentlemen, we can put anybody in jail, set them up. We call it a nudge. Okay, what the hell is this? This is an investigation from a group called Sound Investigations. Here's their handle. Sound Investigations came up with this recording, and we'll play it for you in just one moment. Some of the takeaways here are the CIA officer boasts we can put anybody in jail. FBI, we did what we wanted with Alex Jones, took his money away, chopped his legs off. Estimates 20 undercover agents on January 6th, works with them now, the CIA. Yeah, we're all friends. FBI used embellished news and fake social media stories to get people mad and to get Tucker Carlson fired. My heavens, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Jones has responded to this, by the way. I think this is very important to say up front, and then we'll play the clips. Breaking bombshell, FBI CIA deep state manager confirms FBI agents were in the crowd on January 6th, confessed that 3-letter government agencies were targeting Alex Jones to silence him. More info soon. Elon Musk call for a congressional investigation, please, ASAP. Elon Musk has responded, saying this is disturbing, and I hope Alex Jones sues the hell out of the FBI. Right? I mean, it certainly seems like it would be exculpatory evidence. Let's have a listen, ladies and gentlemen, to Gavin O'Blennis, contracting officer for the CIA.
O'Blennis is a contracting officer at the CIA. O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 2021 and 2022 in the San Diego office, moved on to Homeland Security where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border, and now works for the CIA managing multi-million-dollar contracts across government agencies and private sector vendors.
I work for, how do I put this without, I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. If I say intelligence, what do you think?
CIA?
Yep.
You work for the CIA?
I do.
That's incredible.
I'm a contracting officer.
That's amazing.
So I deal a lot with like different agencies. We're contracting with like Director of National Intelligence to do stuff. We do Navy, Army, any of them really. I just FBI. I used to work for the FBI, so they threw the FBI at me. They're like, "Here, you used to work there." Oh, I'm permanent. I'm staff. Yeah.
Good. Well, why do they call it contracting?
Because I do the contract reporting. I do all the legal contracts. I fly out to vendors and evaluate them. I love the agency.
Good for you.
I like the Bureau, too. The Bureau was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of cool stuff with the Bureau.
A lot of cool stuff. Clearly really good at his job, this guy. The smartest G-men. Only the smartest spies, ladies and gentlemen. So, what does he say about January 6th? I guess this is the leading headline here, although there's a lot in this interview, and we encourage you, of course, to go watch it for yourself. But here's what the man says about January 6th, of which he was directly involved.
Finally, O'Blennis states that he knows and works with FBI agents who were undercover in the January 6th Capitol riot, estimating about 20 field agents were there undercover. While O'Blennis notes that they were not involved in violence, this appears to be the first admission of undercover FBI agents in attendance.
I thought you said that there were FBI agents in the crowd at J6.
There always are when there's a big protest in D.C. Just in case it gets out of hand like that. But there wasn't enough to turn that tide. I mean, I'm talking they maybe have 20. You needed 1,000 to get rid of that crowd.
So they had like, that was just 20?
Yeah, just to go through and observe, see what I can hear, you know, that kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. They needed 1,000 at least.
Well,
Wow.
see, that's also Capitol Police jurisdiction. They're in charge.
So
Why they didn't have more on hand, I don't know.
The Bureau didn't really want people knowing that they were in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be overstepping their bounds.
A little bit.
Do people know that?
Why?
Did people know that the Bureau was in the crowd?
Nope, and probably never will.
You know agents that were there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. They work for the agency now.
They work with me now! Will people know that law enforcement were in the crowd and were encouraging people to behave violently? Yeah, we actually do know that. We know that because we have the undercover body camera footage. Now, this isn't from the FBI. The FBI has yet to admit that there were undercover agents in the crowd, although we've been sort of assuming this for quite a while. This is the undercover body camera footage from undercover police officers who were live-action role-playing as MAGA supporters, encouraging people to behave violently. The context here is that these are officers undercover. They got their badges. They work for the government. And because everybody in Washington, D.C. works for the government. So these are government agents here. And they are saying and encouraging people to not only go into a area that they're not allowed to, they're encouraging people to like climb the scaffolding. You can see in this footage and to be charged with a specific charge that virtually every single J6er gets, which is you were there to disrupt an official proceeding. And you were there in a space. You were violating, obviously, trespassing at the United States Capitol. Here, you can see the officers literally encouraging
Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Go, go. Let's go.
There.
Go.
Go.
Help him up. Help him up. Help him up.
Yep.
Hold on, wait. Push him up. Push him up.
Wow. So, turns out all the people who've been saying that there were a bunch of federal agents in the crowd were really, really right. What else have we been really right about? Well, again, as we've pointed out, Alex Jones is one of those guys who has always been a thorn in the side of the intelligence community and has been for decades now. But Alex Jones is somebody who, according to this man, Gavin O'Blennis, was set up by the CIA and the FBI. Have a listen.
So with Alex Jones, you were watching him long before anything ended up happening.
Probably. It wasn't my office, but I mean, we would have been well aware of what he was doing.
And the goal with him was what? Just to bankrupt him?
Pretty much. And we let the families do it.
And what?
We let the families do it.
Were they encouraged to do that by the Bureau? Like nudged?
We don't encourage people,
but like
we just say there's no federal statute being broken, but you do have the option for a civil case, and it's a pretty good case.
Nice.
In our opinion.
So, that makes so much sense. I have a cousin who's a lawyer, so that's a lot of these cases. They're kind of encouraged by the FBI.
Yeah, like there's nothing federal law we can do, but civilly, we can go at him that way and chop his legs off.
And they did. Yeah. So the FBI was happy.
We didn't care. We were like, oh.
Basically, the citizens did your job.
Yeah.
Wow, so you can encourage a civil lawsuit.
Not encourage. Educate.
What can you do with people like Alex Jones now? Because he's still out there. Yeah. He's still chirping.
He can chirp.
Are you still watching him?
Yeah.
Why?
He did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away. We shut him up for a while. You're never going to shut him up permanently.
Well, unless you put him in prison.
But again, he didn't do anything to go to prison. Being ignorant is not a crime, though it should.
It is. I mean, what you could bring a nudge.
He did inside a riot, like Cheeto. He didn't encourage people to go shoot people. He didn't do anything.
Cheeto. Of course, talking about Donald Trump, Orange Man. Literally, Orange Man bad. It's not a meme. It's real. These are the kind of psychotic nihilists who run your federal government. Look at this man, how proud he is that they were able to bankrupt Alex Jones. They were bankrupting Alex Jones. Look at the expression on the face. And they, according to this current CIA officer, former FBI, they coordinated with the family. The families, Sandy Hook is who he's talking about, the Sandy Hook families, and they coordinated with them and encouraged them to sue Alex Jones in order to bankrupt him, which, of course, they did. I think they got billions of dollars in settlement. So this is the federal government coordinating to shut up journalists and to silence free speech. It is shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, people are saying that Alex Jones should sue the hell out of the FBI. What else do they know? Who was in that meeting? Sure, it'd be interesting to find out, but that's not all we found out in this interview. Have a listen.
I don't know, like, I don't even know these names, like a Fox News person or like a Tucker Carlson or like...
I'm sure he's on the radar, right? You always want the biggest and loudest. Like that, what was his name? The one that said Sandy Hook didn't happen.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are? Are you still after him? Why?
Because he's broke. He got found guilty and had to pay like $100 million.
So why were you after him?
We're not anymore.
Just to get the money from him?
Yeah.
Was that court case used? Was that a CIA
Sure it
thing?
was.
That was the agency thing?
Well, actually it was a defamation case. So it's a civil, not government. But we were looking at all of his followers, commenting, following, like, who's that going to lead us to, right? So even though it's technically not our, well, not the agency definitely, but the Bureau, for instance, yeah, that's not our purview. It's a civil matter. But since they got all this access to his stuff and it's there, what can we go find?
And did you find anything?
I can't tell you if we did. But, so, it's just kind of like, realize the opportunity that you have.
So they're going after Alex Jones's followers, the people who are liking and speaking to Alex Jones. They're targeting Americans who've broken no laws, who've engaged in no violent or criminal behavior. They're going after you for viewpoint discrimination because you are supporting creators or people that the government doesn't want you to support, people that question the government. Still think you live in a free country? Bragging about how the agencies and others sued Alex Jones for defamation, bankrupting him. That was the brag of this man. It really makes you wonder. There have been members of Congress who've come on our show and others who have said, I know for a fact, I have footage of uniformed FBI agents going into the bathroom inside the Capitol before it was breached and coming out dressed as MAGA supporters. Clay Higgins has been, and Clay Higgins, of course, is a member of Congress from Louisiana, but he has a background in law enforcement. And so he's been able to sniff out this rat for a long time.
Yeah, I was not only involved in the actions on January 6th from within. They had, I suspect, over 200 agents embedded within the crowd, including agents, or as they would call human assets, inside the Capitol, dressed as Trump supporters before the doors were opened. Beyond that, the FBI had embedded themselves and infiltrated online chat groups and websites and social media accounts across the country with any group that was discussing objections to COVID oppression.
So this member of Congress, in 45 seconds, explained how the FBI had effectively integrated entirely January 6th. We still don't know what their actual operations were during the Capitol, or which individual in these mysterious videos, which one of them was working for the FBI. Who was working for the FBI? Was the people getting fist bumped? We don't know. Obviously, plenty of curious footage about January 6th out there, but there is, of course, other footage that shows you exactly what these people are capable of. Tucker Carlson, in Bombshell reporting, saying that his own CIA sources, I don't think it's the same one, since that guy said that Tucker's on a list, but the same CIA source said that they had a hand in JFK's assassination. They were the ones who ran CIA's assassination, John F. Kennedy. It really makes you wonder, like, if they're lying about that, what else are they going to be lying about? Ron Paul saying it was a coup. It was a coup staged against Democrats by the intelligence agency.
I say it was concrete that there was a coup and we lost our government. It was November 22nd.
Yes.
The assassination of Kennedy.
That was 60 years ago. Yeah. And our lawmakers never talk about it.
But you mentioned to me earlier and brought back in memory, but do you know who they appointed to the commission? Alan Dulles.
He was on the Warren Commission.
Yeah.
So the guy who was responsible for the murder.
He probably was the most
was investigating the murder.
That's dawned on me. The Republic is gone. That's when I said the day it ended.
The Republic is gone. Your government is lying to you and has been lying to you and continues to lie to you. And the famous Alexander Solzhenitsyn quote, they know they're lying, we know they're lying, they know we know they're lying, and they continue to lie. CIA FBI employee says 20 undercover agents at J6 boasts about taking away Alex Jones's money and says that Tucker Carlson is being targeted. May not be news to you, but it still remains shocking to hear it in real time and from the horse's mouth. Really unbelievable stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage you to go and to see for yourself, to watch the interview, and also to ask yourself, do you live in a free country? The most empirical question of all. Do you live in a free country? We on the show are trying to make it free and doing our level-headed best every single day. David and Goliath story, that is for sure. But that's how dragons get slain. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.